Hey guys, Michael here with Primal. In today's video, I'll be repairing one of the most valuable items in my home, this knife. Well, more specifically the handle, so stick around. So what makes this knife so valuable? No, it's not made out of adamantium or vibranium. It wasn't forged by Eitri the Dwarf, and it didn't at one time belong to Yoda. To try and explain the value of this knife, I need to take you on a little trip, and I'd really appreciate it if you stayed with me on this one. I'm a child of the 80s, and back then things were different. I'm not saying better, I'm just saying different. Back then you could leave your house first thing in the morning, be gone all day doing God knows what with God knows who, and as long as your butt was at the dinner table before the streetlights were on, no one worried. We used to swim in the lake, drink from the garden hose, bike down to the arcade, and meet our friends on Friday night at the roller rink. And we did it all without a cell phone or the internet. Yeah, times were different then, and the aforementioned activities represented what was, for me anyway, a better time. It was the summer of 1983. I just turned 12, and it was time, according to Pop, to start earning some money and feel the respect of becoming independent. So I did what any young entrepreneur of the 80s did. I grabbed the lawnmower from the garage and started going door to door to see which of my neighbors needed their yard cut. It wasn't long before I had about 4 or 5 yards at a cut each week, and at $10 a hit, I was making great money. Dad was right. Before I knew it, I was biking down to the local 7-Eleven and filling up on Slurpees. Yeah, that was a great summer. I managed to make enough money to hit the arcades every Saturday, buy a few He-Man toys I had my eye on, and see Return of the Jedi 3 times. Even after all that, by the end of summer, I had managed to save enough money to buy Christmas gifts for the family. I was so excited. Now back then we didn't have Walmarts or Targets or even very many shopping malls for that matter. We had tiny little strip malls with locally owned department stores and specialty shops. And that December I went to the local Green Hoods with my pop, loaded down my shopping cart with Christmas gifts for everyone, and proceeded to pay the cashier. With my money. I felt just like Santa Claus, and yet again, Dad was right. On Christmas morning, I was so stoked when Mom started opening her gift. The look on her face was priceless. I had found her the most amazing knife set, complete with steak knives, a honing steel, and a butcher block knife holder. It was top of the line. Okay, well, looking back, it was really kind of a crappy set, but Mom loved it, and I felt proud, and like I said, Dad was right. It's been over 35 years since that summer. Life's changed a lot. I grew up, got married, had a few kids. I buried my son. I got divorced. And it may surprise you to know that during all that time, even my parents got older. As far as the knife set, well, through the years, knives got lost, some broken. The chef's knife, well, you'll have to check out my last video to find out what happened to it. It's kind of a funny story. The butcher block itself had long been since discarded, and I'm not really sure why. But what could I expect? I mean, nothing lasts forever, right? So after a time, I ended up back here in my childhood home with my kids, taking care of my elderly parents. My father had a fight with cancer. He won. He was a strong man, even at that age. Immediately afterwards, however, Mom wasn't so lucky. She lost her fight. Soon it was just me, my kids, and my pop. I've always loved my dad, but after Mom passed away, he and I got even closer. He was no longer just my father. He became my best friend. A few years ago, he got a knock on the door. It was cancer, and this time, cancer was pissed. And to add insult to injury, I had also just found out that my job of 14 years had been downsized. Myself and about 4,000 other of my fellow associates from the local office all had been let go. When it rains, it pours. I spent the next few months caring for my father, watching the strongest man I ever knew grow weaker by the day. I cared for his every need until he left. I was right there by his side when he took his last breath. I watched the life leave his body. It hurt a lot. It's been a few years since he left us, and I'm still in the same home. And in each room there's a pile of memories. It's hard at times, but life moves on. I've been back to work for a while, my kids are getting older, and for the most part, life is pretty damn good. As I spend my days going through the house and trying to organize the past, I sometimes laugh at the odd things my parents kept. It's funny how things that seem meaningless to us apparently mean the world to others. Opening the kitchen drawer and seeing a pile of rubber bands, old mason jar lids, a half a pack of Trident gum from who knows when, and at the bottom of it all, a bread knife. The last remaining piece of the set. Although it feels like yesterday, it's really been a lifetime ago. It was that summer, that advice from my dad, and that knife set that together helped make me who I am today. It seems silly that a single item can do so damn much. I don't ever recall saying thank you to my dad for pushing me that summer and teaching me the lessons he taught me. Respect, independence, the value of a dollar, and the importance of hard work, among other things. But then again, I don't really recall doing a lot of things I probably should have done when I was younger. Just a bread knife? Maybe. But not to me. Guys, if you made it this far, thanks for staying with me and putting up with this story. I truly hope that you not only enjoyed the video, but me sharing a little piece of myself with you. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you've got a memory and you feel so inclined, by all means, please share it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If not, well, hey, thanks for watching. You all have a great day. I'll see you next time. And oh, by the way, Dad, you were right.